Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to When Ladies Talk. I am Latrina Hunter. I am here with Miss Nikki Jules
Hey, everybody.
and Latanya Michelle. Thank you so
What's
much.
up, y'all?
Thanks for joining us today. So, our hot topic of the day is relationships and everything in between. So, if you have questions or comments, please just, type it in so that we can acknowledge your comments and we can talk about them or anything you want to discuss pertaining to relationships. Thanks for joining us today. So, our hot topic of the day.
We have a little feedback.
Yeah, I hear feedback. I
You're
hear
good.
feedback.
You're
Okay.
good.
We're
Carry it
so
on, baby.
sorry. Bear with us. We're so sorry. So, talking about relationships today. So, Nikki, how do you view relationships, first of all?
Well, okay. Sorry, hold on. We having a glitch.
How do you view relationships, first of all?
Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second to answer that question. We're having some technical difficulties here. All righty. Here we go. All right. All right. Sorry. All right, everybody. Hi, Monique. Thanks for joining. Okay. Got it. All right. So I view relationships as something to be had. I like relationships at this point in my life. I'm actually in one. Finally, it took a while to get here again, but I love it. I can't complain. I was interested in being with one person, having a monogamous relationship, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I was interested in that as well as not necessarily staying single, giving my heart to a whole bunch of people, spending time and wasting time with a bunch of people. So that's just not me anymore at this point in my life. So that's pretty much how I view it. Tanya.
You know what? I'm having one of those days today, so I'm going to be like really real. I don't know what my thoughts is on relationships today. Like, I know we all want a relationship, and I know we all want to be in a relationship, but I don't know what my thoughts on relationships are today. Like, you want somebody in your life, but y'all gotta come back to me. I'm having one of them days. We gotta figure it out.
But you know what? And that's the good thing about it, is because every single day you go through something. So yesterday could be different from today. Tomorrow can be different from today. And that's just real life. You go through real things and real life and real emotions, and that's okay. It's acceptable. So for me, how I view relationships, a partnership, a connection, I do feel like it's something that you have to be ready for. You have to be mentally ready for, both parties, because you can't be in a relationship by yourself. So, I just think that for me, it just really needs to be a serious connection. You got to be my boy, really. We got to be down. So, but if I don't have that connection, I can't really do anything with the relationship. So I got to have a serious connection.
Can't you have connections with a lot of people?
No,
like,
I don't.
You have connections with a lot? Oh.
No, I don't. No, because if I can't be open and have fun and laugh and smile. So my favorite thing to do in the whole world is smile. And if you can't keep me smiling, then I feel like we don't have no connection, because that's my favorite thing to do. So if you can't keep me at my favorite thing, you almost can't do a lot for me, because I can't even get past that to even see what else you could do for me. I mean, that's just how I feel. I've met people that instantly I've had a connection with them, and other people, maybe not so much. But at the bare minimum, you have to keep me doing what I love to do, and that is just smile and laugh, and I just love doing that. So, and it's easy and it feels good.
But what happens when the connection is there, but everything else sucks?
Right.
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 Well, I personally have never experienced a connection where everything else sucks. So I don't know that I can answer that.
Okay,
let me go ahead. Tell
okay. I was going to give an example. I was going to give an example. So, for example, you meet somebody, they are fine, you know, they fit all of the criteria or whatever, but they suck at giving you compliments at the end of the day. They're funny, they don't give you attention, they're too busy or something like that. So, but the connection is there. You feel like you wanted to go far, but you just can't because either the person's too busy or maybe you find out that they're really the black sheep of the family. So they have a bad relationship with their family, but you have a connection. So it's like, what do you do?
Well, I think you have to figure out what's important to you, what your deal breakers are, and what you can and cannot tolerate. And those are going to be whether you can deal with that particular relationship or not. Everyone is not going to come perfect as I think I am, right? So I'm not. I'm not perfect. And I know I'm not perfect and I got baggage. But whoever is with me or wants to be with me, they have to figure out the non-perfect ways if they can deal with that. And if that's a deal breaker, just like we have to figure out their non-perfect ways. And is that a deal breaker?
Tanya?
People change too. You know what I mean? Like if the chemistry is real or the connection is real, because I'm the opposite of her. Everybody I meet think they have a connection with me. Everybody, like guys, women, everybody thinks that they have a connection with me. And I have to learn how to separate the difference between the connection because we just got good energy and we really, really, really have a connection, you know? So I think we change. If we're really interested in somebody and they're worth it, we begin to start sacrificing for each other so two people can win.
So that's adapting and deal breakers. So we can adapt for one another and learn what we can and cannot deal with. So you're right. We do change and we do adapt. We just have to be sure we don't lose our complete self in that.
Definitely.
Right. In that adapting. So do you guys, Latanya, do you favor relationships or not? Okay, so do you want to go to Nikki?
Listen. Okay, so reality is So reality is reality. You have to face reality. And so I have to be honest with y'all. So I looked at my calendar today, and today was the 19 years ago. I filed for divorce for my relationship, for my husband. And I'm not going through missing him or any of that, but it made me look in the mirror and make sure that I was down the right path. You know, I want a new life and everything. And it made me check myself. And I had to ask myself, have I ever really been in the relationship of my dreams? Or have I just been? So I do want to be in a relationship, but I don't even know if I've ever experienced it before in real life.
Wow.
That's a good perspective. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate.
Yeah.
If you can relate, thumbs up in the comments.
Thumbs up, right. Comment. Mark, right.
How about here's a thumbs up? How about thumbs up?
No, because it's easy for us. Like we find this guy, and we get along, we're laughing, everything and stuff. But sometimes you find out one person is a giver and the other person isn't. So we learn to sacrifice, or maybe he's not a communicator, but he's good with action, and we sacrifice, but we're still missing something. I don't want to miss anything. I want us both to be givers, and I want us to be in this together, working it out.
Right. Tanya, I'm hearing a little feedback.
Yeah, okay. You might want
to hear that.
I do. Okay.
From you. It's probably your mic.
Yeah, just turn it down maybe a little bit. So Nikki, do you favor? Well, obviously, I'm going to say you favor relationships because you're in a committed relationship right now. So
yes. Okay. So yes, I favor them, and I will say this: at one point in my life, I got hurt so bad that I questioned whether or not I wanted to even be in love again, because I I was like, oh my goodness, I was messed up. And so the thing is that there's an echo.
It's an echo.
Okay, I'm trying to fix the system on this side, y'all.
Okay, great. I'll keep talking. So basically, I didn't want to feel hurt again. So I was questioning whether or not I want to do the relationship thing, period. But you know what? As I got older, as I got busier, and the path that I wanted to go on for myself, I saw that I wanted to be with one person. The partnership thing. You know what? We could make money together. We could do different things together. We could travel. I just wanted one person because I was going out on dates and I had to remember this one, had to meet up with this one and all of that. And it's like, I was too over it. It took up a lot of time. Dating takes up a lot of time and effort. So I was done with that. And, you know, I don't know if anybody else can relate to that. But then, you know, so then I wanted, look, then been there. Tiffany said, been there. And so after a while, I just wanted to just settle down. Just give me one person that's halfway decent. You know, can we just like each other? He didn't have to be perfect. He just had to be perfect for me, you know? And so, yes, I favor relationships at this point in my life. That's what I'll go ahead and say.
Right. So for me, I used to favor relationships early on, of course, when I got married and all that. But as time went on, my relationships had become so toxic and so painful. You know, when you think you're being faithful, and there have been conversations and clear communication about being faithful and open communication and talking about everything. And I was the party doing that and the other person wasn't. So I became very angry. I became very, very angry. And I decided I would just have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You have a day. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. You know, you do not call me outside of your day. Do not ask me to do anything outside of your day, because I was just so angry and I was just so mad that I didn't want to get involved with anyone to get my feelings hurt again. I was afraid to get my feelings hurt again. So I would just have many of them and just now, not sleeping or intercourse or anything. Somebody might have made me smile. Somebody might have been good for sex only. Somebody might have been good for dancing. Somebody might have been good for movies or whatever it was. You fulfilled, you know, something for me. And it would just had to be a few of them to do that.
She said a few of them.
I mean, I'm just being honest. That's where I was, you know, coming out of a divorce and coming out of a rebound relationship after my divorce, and just so many hurtful things happening to me that I just didn't want to be my heart in anything to be hurt again, because that pain was just too devastating. But the older I get, I'm telling you, when I turn 48, 49, I don't know what the hell, something happened to me. And I'm like, you know what? I was reckless before, you know, with men and just a lot of things in my life, but I wanted to pull my life together, you know, and calm down and try to find, you know, this right one. And I just stay in a lot of prayer. I just prayed. I'm like, God, whatever's for me, bring it to me. I shouldn't have to go search for it. I shouldn't have to do any of that. You know, just bring it to me. So I do favor relationships, but it has to be with the right one. It has to be with the one that allows me to be me. I allow him to be him. We can be open. We can grow. Like you say, we can do businesses, a partnership, a true partnership. And that's what I'm looking for. You know, I want the total package. And I know the total perfect package doesn't exist, but I do want the total package. So I'm just staying prayed up about it, because I know God he gonna knock on my door. Because we're in a pandemic, so I can't go nowhere to meet him.
Yeah. So Tiffany says, LOL, I totally understand, sis. I was running from my pain. Absolutely. Is that something that we all do?
Absolutely. That's what I did. Yes. That's what I did. I definitely ran. I mean, I ran because it was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that was part of running. So
yeah. How do you know you're not running now?
Because I'm ready. I've done the work on myself. I know the direction that I want to go in. I know that I only have 50 more years to live. So, but I'm mentally ready. I'm emotionally ready. And my heart has healed from all the pain that it had in the past. And it took a long time. And don't get it twisted. It like today, you having a day about some dates that came up. Girl, I look at my kids sometimes and be like, ooh, you look like your daddy. Hold on real fast. Hold on. Pull it together. Lord help me, Lord help me. You know, just be like, you know, or I look at pictures, you know, or something, not just for my marriage, but just in relationships, period. You know, I look at things or some things may pop in my mind and I'm like, man, this ain't a good day. You know, so I just got to chill, pray about it and just ask God, come on, tomorrow, better day. Tomorrow is going to be a better day. I will not feel like this every day for certain. So that's how I deal.
So LaTanya, we waiting on you, girl.
I know.
I already told y'all. I told y'all my thoughts on. You know what?
I feel like you had more to. I
do
feel like
too.
You had a little bit more to say.
I do too.
So what do you want to know? If I'm ready for a relationship? Is that the question?
Yes.
I do believe that I am. I do believe, but it's y'all know what y'all say about me. I'm single. What's the thing? I'm single and I'm not settling. I do believe that I'm ready for a relationship. I do believe that I have to make sure that I constantly look in my mirror, because it's easy to say that you want something, but you have to still deal with your demons and make sure that you don't become a demon. You know, I've been a track star for so long. So when something good comes, I will run in a heartbeat. You know, so when you get to the point where you don't want to run anymore, because you finally find someone like, yo, I think I like this person. You know what I mean? It's still something you got to deal with. You still got to deal with it, you know? So my past has been really crazy, you know, and I don't want to put anybody through the hurt and pain that I went through from other people because they didn't have their shit together. Like I want to make sure that I have myself together and I don't fall victim to. I was in an abusive relationship, so I became an abuser, mentally, physically. You know what I mean? Like, because that was my norm. I promised myself at the age of 17 that I would, at 18, 19, because somebody hurt me, that I would never love again. Well, that shit has basically hit the fan, because now it's like, I'm by myself and it's time to change. And so I've put these curses on myself, and it's now time to really get rid of them and live my life, because I deserve the best.
It's interesting that you said something that you didn't want to, your past demons, and give that off to someone else, and that you came from an abusive relationship. I never came from abusive relationship under any, you know, physical, mental, or any of that. But because I was so angry in certain relationships, I became an abuser. I became not a physical abuser, but a very, very serious verbal abuser. I did.
Why were you angry? Why were you angry?
I think I was angry because I was hurt and hadn't healed. I had not done the work to heal myself. So I would just go relationship, and I shouldn't even say relationship. I would just go man to man to man to man to man to man to man. Right. Because they weren't all relationships, right? They were just moments in my life with men. So I never healed. I didn't take the time from my marriage to heal. I didn't take the time from the rebound man to heal. I didn't take the time from that man after the rebound. I just never took time for Trina to heal. So then once I, tried to clean my own closet and heal myself, I'm like, man, you actually are not that nice. You're
not. You got issues. Me too.
We have all this prettiness going on outside, and the made up and the hair and the makeup and the clothes and the heels, Nikki. So we have all that, but inside we ain't nice. We ain't nothing nice and nothing to be dealt with. So I just didn't like that person. I just didn't like me. I did not like me. I didn't like who I became, who I was. I didn't like how I talked to people. Unfortunately, my children got some of that. And I was like, I got to change. I got to change. And part of changing was therapy. It was prayer. It was crying. It was, it was the whole thing until I could calm down. And that took years. And even sometimes today, sometimes when I feel it coming, I have to be like, hey, okay, come on, pull it together. That is who you used to be. You have a choice and you made a choice to change yourself. That is not who you are. That past doesn't define you. But I have to constantly tell myself that.
Nikki, I got a question for you, Miss Relationship.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
So how did you know that you and your man have been dating for a while? When did it change to relationship status? What's the difference? Tell me about it. Help me out with the dating and the relationship status. What's the difference?
Well, oh Lord, here we go. Look. Okay.
Hey, let's pull it up. Let's get it together, ladies.
Yeah, let's get it together. Okay. This is what I'll say. I'll put this out there because I think a lot of women can relate.
Yes.
My timeline was I would say my timeline was different from his, right? And what I mean by that is, so we're dating probably, so this is my stage, or this is usually the stages. So that first month you meet, it's all good, but you still have people lingering in the background, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to go through the exercise of chop, 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 right?
Okay. That's both of y'all.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You do. I mean, and when I say lingering in the background, it could just be somebody that calls you out of the blue every so often that you entertained, right? Okay. Right. So you got that. And then like 2, 3, 4 months in, it's like where so when I started noticing that, I had the conversation about probably 3 months in, because I'm like this. And this is me, I'm not sure if everybody ages out there, but at this point in my life, and I'm sure a lot of people's lives, I'm over 40. I've been married. I've been divorced. I pretty much am clear. I've been in some relationships or whatever. I'm clear about what I want and what I don't want. Right.
Right.
So, and I asked the right questions to try to identify whether or not this person is worth going past 3, 4, 3, 6, 9 months.
What's the right questions?
Okay.
Put that in there too.
Right. Okay.
Because some of us don't know. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So a lot of the questions that I may ask consist of how do they feel about themselves at this point in their lives? Because, for example, if there's any men out there, you please chime in. But I just feel like sometimes men, if they're not where they want to be financially and mostly financially, or where they think they should be in that point in their lives, that's where their focus is. So they're not thinking relationships really. You know what I mean? They want to just have a good time. You need to be the stress away from all of the drama they have going on or whatever. So one of the questions I ask is, where are they? Where are they in their lives as far as like, so let's say you got a job. Do you like your job?
Right.
Right. If you own your own business, how's that business going? Because guess what? If it's not where they want to be, you have to think to yourself, I got to deal with this stuff later. Right. The other thing I would ask, or I would have conversations. So for example, I like to shop. Right. I like to
really?
Shop. Really? Yeah. I like to shop for shoes, all this other stuff. And I literally went on a date with somebody and told them I have a shoe wall. And this guy said to me, I don't understand. This is what he said. I don't understand why women have so many shoes and blah, 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 blah. I think it's a waste of money. So guess what? I automatically knew, third date, that this is probably somebody if I stay and deal with him, that if we get together, I gotta buy my stuff and keep it in the trunk of the car. He can't see it because he's gonna have a problem with it. I mean, little stuff like that, I was nipping them in the bud. My guy now, 3 months in, I said to him, so, you're not interested in seeing anybody else, are you? No. I said, you have any stragglers left? I was straight up. He was like, no. He said, you? I said, no. And I was like, I really want to see where this goes. We have some similar interests. We both love music. He was an entrepreneur. I was an entrepreneur on my way up to being my best self. And he supported that. I told him what I needed. Is that a problem? I said, I said, I just need you to support me. And right. And what's the end goal? I love traveling. You love traveling? Okay. All right. How does that look? So I did ask all some of those questions, but to sum it up, basically 3 months I had the conversation and he was with it. Now I'm going to say this later on, 6 or 7 months in, it was kind of like, well, we're still getting to know each other. What?
That's what he said to you?
Huh?
He said y'all still getting to know each other after 7 months. But that's okay. But that's okay because that's where he was. So it's okay that.
But that's not where he was 3 months ago when they had that conversation.
Yeah, so God shifted.
Time out. We just talked about people change all the time. Time out. We can't say it's okay to change and then do change and you like, hold on, what's really going on?
But you can't sit there. Time out. It is time out. You can't sit there and say, oh, we in a relationship, and then 6 months down the line be like, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship no more, but you still want to keep doing the same thing.
Well, he didn't say that. He said, Nikki, because I guess, and see me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm moving with the quickness. I am one of those people, and he hung on tight, thank God. But I'm just saying, I'm one of those people's like, what's the next step? What we doing? You know what I mean? And he literally was like, well, we're still getting to know you. I was like, okay, we're still getting to know each other. I said, but you do realize you'll never know somebody 100%, right? I said, today my favorite color is pink. Tomorrow it may be purple. Right. I can change and you can change. But
I just
so
think,
when did
what all of what you just said is communication. Is keeping your thumb on the pulse of the relationship at all times, whether it is a month, right? You have to take the temperature of the relationship, which sometimes we don't do, which is part of communication. And let's be real, women or men sometimes don't like to communicate about those very serious issues or very serious topics. Right. But you got to do a pulse check. You have to do a pulse check.
So what happened to 6 months to change? What changed between that 3 months and 6 months? Or you know what? That's not even important. You know what? We're not even. It's not. How did the time? Okay, so you said in 2.5 years, y'all officially became a couple, right?
Yeah,
did I say that right?
Always a couple. We were always a couple. So but when he said that, that threw me for a loop, and I thought that was his safety net. I thought that, and people have doubts throughout their relationships.
Right.
And I think it was a moment he had a small doubt about the future or whatever like that, because, he's one of those people, he wants to be where he needs to be and all this other stuff like that. So he, something, I think I can't pinpoint it, but something may have happened, but that's, I can see that happening. You know what I mean? You could be with somebody, it's all good. And then something happens and you second guess, and then you bring it back full circle and you keep it moving. And I'm not, it's not settling. It's just realizing that the tide is shifting, and it's like, okay, are you going with the shift or not?
Check the pulse. Check the pulse at all times. Check the pulse.
Right. And I guess my question was, you guys, in your mind, you guys became a serious couple at point of 2 years and 6 months, right? Am I right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
When did you consider y'all a real couple? Like a committed couple?
Probably like 3 months.
Okay.
3-4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's back up one thing that I didn't say. When we look for relationships, what are we looking for? So for me, I'm looking for my father, to be honest.
Really?
Here's why. Because my father is the man. My father, I'm a daddy's girl. So he gave me everything I ever wanted, ever dreamed of, but he would get in my shit when I wasn't right. So he would check me, but he loves me. Sometimes hard love when I needed it. He was compassionate. He taught me affection. He taught me and showed me, so he was verbal with it, and his actions matched his words about what you need in a man, what you should have in a man, and how a man is supposed to treat you. Now, I realize that there are some people that may not have their fathers, in their life. But for me, my father was and is the shit. So I was looking for that. Nah, did I ever find that? No.
I think that's like next to perfection. I think if you're daddy's girl, it's next to perfection. That's almost impossible.
Not really, because here's daddy.
God.
Not really, because here's daddy, and you could be right there. I'm gonna need you to be right on daddy's tail.
Right.
That's but I've never really, I might have only found that once in my life, because I've only been in love once in my life, and I'm 51. So when we look for relationships, I've only been in love once in my life, and that was at an older age, I'll say that. So what are we looking for? I mean, are we looking for men, like our fathers, or what are we looking for?
I personally, I'm not looking for anybody like my father. As a matter of fact, my stepfather is love him to death. Great provider. But I don't like weak men that make up excuses because of that. However, there's no man out there that I compare. But if I had to find someone who I really loved them as a man and how they handle their stuff, I would have to say my son. Like, I watched my son go through depression. I watched him go through struggles and everything. But now I'm watching him be this man who takes care of his children. He takes care of his wife like nothing. Like, when I say a man that loves his wife, he caters to her. Like, I don't think she wants for anything, but they're also friends. They have a good time. Like, he takes her out on boats just because he just does. He's only 30 and he's got his head together. And I think I appreciate it more because I've seen him when he didn't have it together. So when men come to me with excuses, I'm like, but my son is 30. And he's doing it. Why would I even accept this if I can't take you around my son and you on a higher level or somewhere? What do I look like?
Right. What about you, Nikki?
I look for an honest man.
Yes.
And a man that is good with himself. Right? And what I mean by that is he knows who he is. He doesn't apologize for who he is. He makes his own decisions. He has a relationship with the higher power that he pretty much has his stuff together. Stuff together, meaning he has a, put it like this, I won't say stuff together, because guess what? It's not all about finances all the time. Some people may disagree, whatever. But as long as you have a clear vision of the path that you're on and you're actually doing things to execute to get towards those steps, I'm good. But you got to be honest. You got to be honest. You have to have knowledge of self. That's it. Because there's nothing worse than somebody that's not sure of themselves, because it'll come across in everything that they do. And that's not attractive.
Right.
You have to have a sense of humor and somebody that can laugh at themselves.
Right.
And that understands that knows how to live. Because I may say that, That's what I want. And I may say that to a guy and he starts off like that, but then the real deal is that maybe he's a negative Ned. You know, he disagrees with everything. Everything is a problem. Everything is a conspiracy, you know, like, so it's like, because I'm clear on what I want, as I'm talking to you and I'm having conversation with you as a man, or with a man, I can identify pretty quickly if it's going to mesh later on, you know.
Right.
Here we go. We got a comment.
Krishna says, she says, a self-aware man with integrity is a beautiful thing.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
She says, oh yeah, he has to have a therapist.
Hey, ding, ding, ding. I'm with you on the therapist. I am with you on the therapist. But to add another thing to the list, the real list of what we're looking for, you know, integrity and all of that, they really need to be a good communicator. Because, I mean, you just have to be able to talk. The stuff that's in your head, and I don't care how it comes out, if it's not coming out right, just get it out. Let's just talk about it. Let's have real adult conversations, you know, and I just feel like, for me, because I have dated, you know, a few people are just not communicating.
Yeah,
they're not communicating.
I hear that a lot, at least in my circles, about the men being able to communicate. And I don't know if can we define communicate? Because are you trying to say that, like, so for example, I can say I want my dude to communicate more, but to me that might mean I need him to tell me I'm pretty, I'm this, how he feels about me. Oh, he loves me, he missed me. So what kind of communication are you talking about?
I'm referring to whatever you are feeling about me, whatever you are feeling about yourself, whatever you are feeling about your career, just your feelings. I need you to get your feelings out.
But is that if asked, or do you want somebody to just spill it out? Because some dudes are like that. Some dudes are those dudes that will text you throughout the day talking about, I can't wait till you get home, this, that. You know what I'm saying? So are you talking about when you ask them, how do you feel about me? And they can be able to just spill it out?
Both.
Okay.
You know what? I have to give kudos, because I really have to give kudos, because I'm spending time with someone who's basically a great communicator. He's probably a better communicator than me. And everybody thinks I'm a great communicator. So I appreciate a man who can express himself freely without accent. I don't have to second guess anything. I don't have to even think, because he makes sure that I know and I see it, both in his actions and how he talks. And even when I get in my mood or in my funk, he basically knows how to come to me and like, oh no, what's going on? And won't even accept, he'll let me speak, but he won't accept my answers, because he knows those aren't the right answers. And I'm just saying something to be saying it. So there's good men out there. And I have to say that, you know, there's some great men who do know how to communicate, and sometimes it's us.
Absolutely.
Because like I said, I have been in a funk all day, and I'll be honest with y'all, I have been in a funk all day for different reasons. Fear is a combination of things. But I can honestly say that this man all day long has been like, nope, come on. So I much respect.
But that's a part of communication, though. He has learned you, and he has learned what your mood should be, should not be. So communication may not always be talking. It may just be having a clear understanding of what you're going through and being able to communicate you through that. Or it may be
true.
Yeah. So that is different things.
For the longest, I've been sitting there saying I want a good communicator, and I thought I was a good communicator, and I wasn't. And because he wasn't communicating the way that I wanted him to communicate it, I made it seem like it was bad, but it's not. We just have to learn to deal with who we're dealing with and understand that it's two different humans, and we think differently, we operate differently. He may want to say something to you, but it could be you're not making it comfortable for him, or whatever the case. So I've been bad at that. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, communication comes in a lot of different ways. You know, I can hear you if you're not yelling at me, and if you're not talking at me. You know, if you're talking to me and trying to help me understand something, I can hear you. But if you're a bad communicator, you know, if you don't know how to communicate properly and you're yelling and, you know, using some other words, all I hear is blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And I have tuned you way out. So you got to learn, you're right, how to communicate, how to have effective communication, how to talk to people, you know, how to read body language. Like you're in a funk, you didn't say you're in a funk, but your actions showed you were in a funk. You know, and my man needs to know I'm in a funk, like you know, the person you're spending time with. So, you know, I definitely get it.
Okay. Well, so Trina, what would you say? We touched on it a little bit, but what would you say your past experiences? How has your past experience damaged how you proceed in relationships?
So I'm just gonna hide under the table. Because absolutely. So my past relationships, and let me be clear, not all of them have been bad. And however long I was in them, not the whole time has been bad. But overall, some of them have not been very good. So unfortunately, I've taken some of the bad parts from the relationships and have sabotaged good relationships. So sometimes I'm the issue, you know, so like I said before, I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, sometimes that way kind of come back sometime, and you know, you be like, Lord, I don't want that way to come back because that's my past relationship. So yeah, my past relationships definitely can harm present. I try to, you know, remember that it shouldn't, and I try to work hard on it, you know, not doing it. But then I've had some good relationships with some good communicators. So I remember those good things as well. I just have to remember not to bring the negativity from the bad relationships or the not so good relationships into my present. But I have self-sabotaged a lot of relationships just because of, you know, bad things that have happened in the past. I guess what I do is I maybe try to get you before you get me. So
that's interesting.
I do. You know, I'll try to do something to break up with you, or, you know, because I think maybe that's coming. So I just try to get you first. And then I'm like, well, damn, I'm grown. You know, why am I'm over 50. Why am I acting like that? But, you know, we all just a work in progress, and we all just have to be patient with ourselves. We got to own our shit, whatever we do. And past relationships, you just got to own your part in it, because you play a part in all relationships. Whether it is good or bad, you play a part, and you have to know that part and own that part.
Well, I would say for me, the damage that was done, how it, you know, how it forced me to move forward. It made me actually try to see the other person's side of point of view in relationships. Sometimes I couldn't see it before, and I came off as selfish or whatever. And so I had to learn to, you know what, Nikki, everybody doesn't think like you. Everybody doesn't think like you. So it's okay. It's okay that they have this separate opinion, because they're a whole nother person. Like LaTanya was saying, two human beings. So how I move forward with that is that I realize I'm not going to get my way all the time. If it's not my way, it's the highway. That theory I had to tuck that back up underneath the bed, you know, and just learn to be more considerate. That's all. And it's worked. It's worked. I mean, certain things I used to that would probably frustrate me, they don't, you know, I kind of, you know, I do, you know what I do? I vent to my girlfriends. I don't vent to him.
That could be good. That's a good thing.
I don't vent to him. I don't. So it may be things that irk me, but I realize it's okay. That's how he thinks. That's his opinion. Is it really hurting me? Am I really gonna have a bad day? Probably not. But I'm gonna pick up the phone and tell my girlfriend. You know, I do that. What about you, LaTanya?
My past, I think now I just take I've learned to just point the fingers at myself and find out, because before it would be a big deal or I would trip. Now I'm always looking at what part am I playing? What am I messing up? And plus, I gotta be honest with y'all, I can't get past 3 days with somebody. Like, they tell on themselves. The more we talk, you get the first 3 days is about conversations to me, and they tell on themselves, and I know I don't want to deal with it. I'm not trying to change a grown man. So if I get past 3 days with somebody, that's significant. That's very significant. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. Like, so my past, I think I handle things a little bit different, and I don't blame anybody else for what somebody else did. I think it's just, I'm just more aware of who I am and how I handle things. And like you said, I can't always have my way. And is this person going to be willing for me? Am I going to work with this person so we both can have a win-win?
Right. I mean, and one thing you can say, you always look back at yourself. They say when you point one finger at somebody else, it's always 3 looking back at yourself. Right. So you definitely should always check yourself. Always check yourself. You can't blame everybody else for everything that's going on in your life, relationship wise. So I get it. Felicia Haywood brought up a good question, a good point. She said nonverbal communication is communication. So
Van Jackson said the same thing. He's like, it's just not the verbal communication that are important. It's picking up body language, and that's very important.
Absolutely.
So with that, what is the short version of moving out of a relationship that doesn't serve you anymore?
Short version? Oh boy. Is there a such thing as a short version?
And hey, listeners, what's the short version?
Help us.
Comment on that. How do you get out of relationships that don't serve you anymore? Like, what do? You may be in a relationship right now that's not really serving you anymore. So why are you still there? What do you do to get out?
I need to know, Van Jackson. Are you a man? I need your opinion.
It's a man.
I'm here with you. I'm watching you, and I'm like, I need to know who this Van Jackson is. Yes. What are your thoughts? Tell us as women. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, go ahead, Trina.
I was gonna say until Van comes on, because I'm reading his comments too, and I want to know what he thinks. But I think when we're in relationships that doesn't serve us, it's just out of comfort. It's just out of comfort, and it is just out of convenience, and it's just about, we are mentally masturbating ourselves to think it's going to get better, and it's not. So the only way to get out is to get out. I mean, you can't. It's like when you quit your job, something happens, you're going to quit your job. You put in that 2-week notice and you're out. It's the same thing. Look, dude, this is not working, and here's why, A, B, C, D. So I say you just have to communicate yourself out of it, but it is still about communication.
I think that's hard. I think it's, I think we all have been in relationships that we probably should have left a long time ago and we didn't.
Absolutely.
I think it's hard to just walk away from your comfort zone. We're so used to comfort zone. I don't have the answer, because it's just, I think it's different for everybody. Excuse me. I think you just have to find a way to think about what you really want and know your worth, and start weighing the pros and the cons. You know what I mean? And are you willing to deal with this? Are you willing to stay the victim to this?
Yeah, Felicia said we become complacent, and we do. When
absolutely,
I've been at the tail end of some relationships, and I actually went out, got hit on, entertained the conversation, right? But then the person said something stupid, and I went back. I was like, well, I might as well deal with the person I know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I might as well go ahead and, I know this person. I know this person's patterns and all that. Am I really trying to get to know somebody all over again? That's draining. That's exhausting.
It is.
It's exciting, but it can be draining.
It is draining, but do we deserve to be in something that does not serve us well? No, we do not deserve to be in something that does not serve your mind, body, and your soul. So why do it?
But it's easier said than done.
It's easier.
I ain't said it ain't easy because I mean that it's easy. Believe me, I've been in those relationships too. But I'm saying, why are we stringing something along that we know there's no light at the end of the tunnel?
True.
So,
okay,
I think it's a self problem. Like me personally, I don't string nothing along. I'm gonna be very straight up and be like, yo, let's be friends, let's be cool, whatever and stuff. But I don't think everybody's there. Like it's so easy for us to sit there, but there's so many people who still trying to find themselves and trying to love themselves. So they're holding on to something because they feel like that's all they have and they don't want to lose that. So we do need to walk away from these things. Yes, we do need to make sure we have the best and things that's good for us and walk away from the toxic. But some people don't know how.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, again, I've been in them and don't know how. You know, I'm in construction and like projects. So sometimes I'll get a guy that may need to be fixed. And I like fixing things. But when I fix you and then, you know, we're trying to fix each other and there's still no light.
Build a man.
Right. You know, I just gotta bite the bullet, let my heart hurt and just, you know, the forever man is out there. You know, so I feel like, you know, my cousin just told me the other day, don't let your boyfriend block your husband. Right.
You that's good. That's good.
She just told me, you know, and we don't know always how to walk away. You know, we just gotta, it's in your soul, it's in your heart. And you just gotta, when your heart say, I cannot take any more pain, you know, we got to get out of that stuck place that we're in. And again, mentally masturbating ourselves to think that it's going to change. So you got to pray yourself and will yourself and all kind of do stuff to yourself to get out of it. But we don't deserve to be stuck, and we shouldn't be stringing people along either.
We shouldn't. And you know, that's a good one right there. That's a good one. Dang, we don't have time, but that's a good one because I wanted to ask, like, women, we will go out on dates with men for dinner and stuff like that, and we don't even like them. Like,
oh, that, you know
that's
what?
a total different topic.
That sounds we could talk about that.
We'll come back to that one. Right. That's a future show. Right. We gotta talk about that next. Right. So y'all, I got something to say. I got all kinds of questions about sex, y'all. Like, we need to talk about some sex.
We are. Next week, we're talking about sex. So time out. We're not doing that today because you know that's another 4 hours. So we don't.
Only an hour though, right?
Next week, we're talking about sex.
Right.
And look, I would suggest you don't listen in front of your cheering because that'll be grown talk discussion. But anyway, go ahead.
Dad, please don't.
Your daddy, don't tune in next week, please. Lord Jesus, Jesus, don't tune in. But you know, for the most part, we women just have to stay strong, and men, because women ain't the only people out there hurting. We're not the only people out there in bad relationships. We are not the only people out there that don't know how to get out, that are stuck. All the things we talked about for almost an hour, women and men both experience the exact same thing. We are just giving it from our perspective.
Right. And we gotta also, I like that you said that because we have to remember men need love and attention and all the things that we want from a man. We need to be able to give it to a man too.
Absolutely. Are you ready? Are you mentally ready for that perfect man? Me, no.
That's the easiest part. Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I got work.
Let's some of these comments because I'm seeing we got 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh, on. Let's see. Okay.
Van.
Okay. All right. Van had to leave us, but he did answer that question that you asked of him. Let's see. What did he say? He said something about just cut
him along. He said cut him off and don't string him along.
Because it's only gonna get worse.
Right.
Lynn said you just have to be honest and let them know it's not going to work. It's very draining to keep someone around that's not healthy for you. Agreed.
Right.
Patty said, especially if kids are involved, sometimes you have the fear of starting over. That's true too. Right, I dealt with that before as well. Right. Lisa, comment of the night. This journey is not for punks.
Lord knows it ain't.
It's not. It's definitely not.
Lord knows. But that's any relationship, right? That's a relationship with your girlfriend. Any relationship ain't for punks.
Yeah. Felicia said, but how do we walk away? Krishna said, the people you're in a relationship with are a reflection of where you are emotionally. Woo!
Ooh! I like say that again. Rewind.
Hold on, we're gonna repeat that. Krishna,
Woo!
come on, girl, come on with the next topic
Come on, girl. Come on.
down the line. The people you are in relationships with are a reflection of where you are emotionally.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I needed that today. Listen, Krishna, you just made my day today. I
Wow.
needed that. That made me feel good.
Dang.
Ooh,
Okay.
that was
Hold on. Okay, Van had to go. But yeah, and then I think we have some comments. Thanks, Angela. She said it's inspiration now. So let's hold on for a second because I believe.
Ladies, we got 4 minutes.
Okay, hold on. I got some more comments. People are saying hi. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Sheila. Hey, Dorinda. Hey, Shauna. Oh my goodness. Wow. All right.
So one thing I do want to
do us a big favor. Let us know where you're watching from.
Yeah, let us know
where your location and stuff, and tell us what you guys want to hear us talk about.
Absolutely. Because just so you know, next week, like we said, we will be talking about sex. So definitely, tune into that. I'm still had a Catholic school, little uniform on, but my mask is coming off too. So, so definitely stay tuned because next week is all about sex.
Nikki, we're gonna bring the real lipstick next week. The red lipstick.
I'm wearing red.
Oh yeah, this is pink. This is innocent. Next week it will be hot red.
Right. You guys can also follow us on our YouTube pages at When Ladies Talk and Instagram.
Yes. And we definitely thank everyone, again, for tuning in and your questions and your comments. And just like the other lady said, let us know, what you want to talk about or what you'd like for us to talk about and things like that. But yeah, next week is definitely, look, Felicia Haywood said, I can't wait a week for that. It needs to be 2 hours.
Yes. Go ahead, Felicia. Felicia, send us your questions.
Right. So she said it needs to be 2 hours. She definitely needs to send us her questions. But
we got somebody. We got Cali in the house. We got Hampton, Virginia in the house. Okay. We have New York in the house. I got some of my girls in New York. I mean, we not worldwide yet. What are we? We're not
worldwide. We have overseas. That's worldwide.
Right.
Ladies, we got 2 minutes. Let's close it out.
All right. Well,
again with the relationships, just be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself about where you are. If you want to be in one, if not, don't get in it because it's only going to hurt you in the end. And if you want to be in it, do the right thing. Do right by the people. What you expect from them, you better be given the same thing because you can't ask for something that you're not given. So that's just messy.
All right. I'll leave y'all with this real quick. Your relationships is what you make it. You don't have to go by the book. You don't have to go by what anybody else says. Your relationship, what works for you and him, that's what works for you and him. There's no book. There's no manual. Do you. It'll be fine. That's it.
Be happy. Just be happy. If that person makes you happy, be happy. Do peace. Take care of each other. Don't just expect one person to do for you. You both do for each other. And make sure both people are winning. See y'all next week.
Yeah, see y'all next week.